Hello, my name is Maria from mathmammoth.com. In this video, we're going to look at equations with fractions and do some review of them. The basic principle is that if an equation involves fractions, we try to get rid of them by multiplying by the denominator, or by the LCM of the denominators if there's several. Let's look at two examples here. Both of these equations are actually similar. The only difference is this one has parentheses, and that does make a difference. Here we have 5 in the denominator, so like I said, we're going to multiply the whole thing by 5, so we will get rid of the fraction. Watch what happens next. We have 5 times the entire left side equals 5 times this. And now we use the distributive property, 5 times this plus 5 times that. So we get 5 times 2/5 times x plus 5 times 5. And now these 5's cancel, so we just have 2x. And then I subtract 25 from both sides, and I'm left with 2x equals minus 65. And then divide by 2. And x equals negative 65 over 2. Now let's go on to the next one. Here also I can multiply both sides by 5. So I get 5 times 2/5 times x plus 5, in parentheses, here is minus 40 again. And now these 5's cancel. Okay, so then we are left with 2 times, in parentheses, x plus 5. So there is a difference if you compare to this one here. And then we use the distributive property, take 2 through the parentheses, 2x plus 10 equals negative 40. Now get rid of the 10, subtract 10 from both sides, 2x equals negative 50, and then lastly divide by 2 to get x equals negative 25. Next, there is a task for you. Find the error. Pause the video and try it on your own. Alright, so here's an equation with a fraction, and in the next step we see x only. Minus 12 equals 24. And the 4 became 24, so it does look like that the person multiplied by 6. And when we multiply by 6, remember that this entire side gets multiplied by 6. And therefore, we need to use the distributive property, and 6 times this minus 6 times that. Each term gets multiplied by 6. And that is what did not happen here. If I show you here, 6 times 1/6 times x minus 12, there needs to be parentheses here. The entire side gets multiplied by 6. So 6 times this and 6 times that. And so there should have been 72 right here. And therefore, the next step will be to add 72 to both sides. X is alone, and then over here we get 96. Alright, did you get the same? Here we see the same equation twice. And try to solve it on your own first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to solve it. Here we see a fraction, so we might want to multiply by 6 at some point. But we don't need to do that as a first step. What we can do is divide both sides by 2 first. And that is because negative 4 is divisible by 2, and this is 2 times something. So this entire side is divisible by 2. So what happens? 2 times this divided by 2, we are left with only x minus 1/6. And over here, negative 2. And next, add 1/6. X equals negative 2 plus 1/6. Okay, how do we do that? It's going to be a mixed number, right? But you can also calculate it changing this to sixths. This is actually negative 12 over 6 plus 1/6. So then we get negative 11/6. Or if you think of it as a mixed number, negative 1 and 5/6. But in algebra we usually don't write the answers as mixed numbers unless it was a real life context where the mixed number would make sense. Okay, I said I would solve this the second time. Now let's say that I will multiply both sides by 6 because I see this fraction there. So if I multiply by 6, Then I multiply this entire side by 6. Look how it goes. If I write out this step in full, it's 6 times 2 times the x minus 1/6. And then here 6 times -4. So this side is -24. And here's 6 times 2, 12 times this quantity in parentheses. Now we use the distributive property and get 12x minus 12/6, which is 2. Okay, then add 2. And lastly, divide by 12. This one simplifies a little bit to -11/6, just like on that side. So all is well. So as you can see, there are several different ways to solve the equation, and these are not the only ways yet. There are some more ways too. And one would be that here in the beginning, you start out by multiplying both sides by 3. Because if you do so, this becomes 6 here. And then 6 times x minus 6 times 1/6. Then that eliminates the fraction there. And you can probably think of other ways too. Alright, we're all done with this and I hope it was helpful.